I spent loads of time trying to find the perfect digital nomad setup, and I think I finally found it. If you're working in front of your laptop for long periods of time, this is really important to avoid turning into a hunchback with bad posture or developing different aches and pains. Now, there are a bunch of people who've come up with these fancy, elaborate digital nomad setups that weigh a ton and they have tons of different screens and everything. And I wasn't really looking for that. I wanted an extra screen to help me with productivity, but I want it to be as light and ideally as low cost as possible. And now that I found this setup, I think I'm never going back. Let me show you how it works. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you the option that I use and also another alternative option that you can use if you're on more of a budget that also works really well. I mainly use this setup as we're traveling around the world working from different Airbnbs or cafes and things like that, but it also works for van life as well. Before we get into setting up the extra screen, let's first set up our laptop. And to do that, we need a laptop stand, and I'll link to all the products in the description below to help you find the exact one that I'm talking about. This one is called Next Stand, and it's basically the same thing as the more expensive stand that most people talk about that's called the Roost. This one's just cheaper. It's worked fine for us. I've been using it for like 2 years now, and basically it comes in this small package and you just open it up like this, set it on the table. You can adjust it to different heights if you want. Slip in your laptop, and there you go. Now obviously if you have a stand, it's not going to be a good position to work on it like this. Now you need a Bluetooth mouse and a Bluetooth keyboard. And since I am kind of an Apple fanatic, I use the Magic Mouse and the Magic Keyboard. But those are a little bit pricey and you don't need to use those ones. There's other ones that I'm about to show you that are cheaper and work just as well. I actually have the trackpad. This is the Magic Trackpad 2, I think, as well as the mouse. I kind of like the trackpad better, but the mouse has some benefits as well. And here's the computer. If you do decide to buy these and you're traveling with them, make sure to buy some kind of case like this case that protects them, because I had another trackpad and it was in my backpack and it cracked. It has some kind of glass on the top and it cracked into like a million pieces, and those are expensive to replace. So this is a cheap protection solution. So now armed with your keyboard and your trackpad or mouse, now you can be in a better position to work instead of being hunched down over the computer. Now this alone would be a pretty sufficient setup and it would help your posture and help you stay safe and avoid injuries, but I like to have an extra screen to be more productive, and it's actually kind of hard to find a cheap, lightweight setup that doesn't take up too much space in your backpack and kind of sets up the same height as your screen to put an external monitor. There's a couple different options out there. There's one that clips on the back, but I've read things that it just falls down all the time. There's other ones that are bigger and heavier to pack, but what I found is something that I was carrying anyway, and my iPad. Now you don't need to use an iPad for an extra screen, but it's awfully convenient if you already have Apple. And you have two options. If you don't want to use your stand, for example, if you're in a place where there's not all this space like this and you have to use a normal laptop, you can just put it in your normal case and connect your laptop to your iPad that way and just work on it like this and have extra screen space. I'll show you the program that I use to connect them both in a second. But if you're working like this and your screen is higher up, it's kind of a pain to have part of your screen down and part of your screen up, and so you need to lift it up a little bit. And to do that, I just use the same tripod that we travel with anyway for traveling and taking pictures and everything. I took off where we normally put our camera, and I bought this extra attachment I found on Amazon that attaches to iPads or any kind of tablet really. And you just screw it into the top like so. Open it up. This tripod is nice because it's really easy to adjust to different heights. You can just make it wider or narrower. Then take the iPad and fits right on the inside. Look at that. You can adjust it however you want. These legs are super duper flexible. And now to connect the iPad to the screen, you have a couple of different options. I use an application that's called Duet, and you have to download the application on your computer and also on your iPad. And the application, I think, costs $20, like a one-time purchase on your iPad. And from there, you connect it. This is just a normal iPad charger and an adapter that goes into the USB-C in the Mac. You just connect the two and open up the Duet apps, and then everything's going to show on both of your screens. There's also an option that I haven't tried. If you don't want to use the wires and cables at all and you just want to do it wirelessly, you can sign up for Duet Air, which is a yearly subscription. I think it costs $20 per year, and then you can just connect wirelessly to everything. But I really didn't find that necessary, and I can't tell you how well it works. A lot of different options. People have complained that there's a bunch of lag, like if you're moving things around from screen to screen, that it wouldn't work properly, or for example, if you're typing on the iPad screen, that it would like be slow or something. But with the wire, I haven't had any problems with Duet. I don't know how the wireless works. This has been huge for my productivity. Now I can have, if I'm writing in one screen, I can have my research on the other screen. I don't have to keep resizing the windows, so they're tiny windows on my 13-inch computer screen. And so it's been a huge game changer. Now, if you don't have a MacBook and you use Windows, first of all, what are you doing? Second of all, ay, yeah, que calor. Now, if you don't have a MacBook and you use Windows, or you just don't want to fork out all the money for the Magic Keyboard and the Magic Mouse or the Magic Trackpad, I think they're worth it if you're going to be using this for your business. But if you're just getting started and on a budget, we also have used and were thoroughly impressed with these budget options. Diane used this on her computer when we were just getting started. I can't remember the exact model, but I'll link to it below. This one works well with both Mac and Windows. And also, we have used this little mouse. It's bigger than, it's a little bit wider than the Magic Mouse and the trackpad. And I'll link to this one below. I can't remember the exact model, but they both have worked well for us. They both were pretty cheap. And if you do use these, just remember that you also need to get yourself a little mouse pad, otherwise it's not going to work. One time we were stuck on a remote island in Cambodia with literally nothing, and we didn't have a mouse pad, so I had to use a piece of paper for a long time, and it just sucked. And so just make sure you grab a mouse pad before you go off into the middle of nowhere. So this is basically level 2 of Digital Nomad setup. If you want to take it to the next level, these are the headphones I use. They're the Sony, I can never even remember the Sony WXH something 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 something. This isn't even the latest model. The latest model probably has even more cool stuff, but this is a game changer. You can work in places where there's tons of noise and it just tunes everything out. If you're traveling, just carry on and you don't have space to pack big headphones like this. I also travel with these Jabra headphones. I know there's tons of options for those in-ear headphones. These are just the ones I use because they're sweat-proof, and so I use them for exercise as well. I like things that are multifunctional when I'm traveling that I can use for a bunch of different things. And so I always travel with these 2 pairs of headphones. And if you're doing van life specifically, I also highly recommend investing in one of these WeBoost cell phone boosters, because it will just help you get signal and work in places where you normally wouldn't be able to have internet. And so with all of these different things on the table, it looks like you have a ton of different stuff, but really if you pack it all down, it's not so big in your bag. These all fit in our personal item bag. Just take it all apart. I just put my iPad in my same laptop case and it fits just fine. Like literally this is the extra space that you're carrying when you carry a monitor like this. There's other ones that are maybe cheaper, but they're bigger than this as well. This fits right into my case. This is also really small. This is the tripod we use anyway, so it's not anything extra that we wouldn't carry anyway. This folds down nice and tight. These go into my case for protection. Do not want to break these. You can also fit other things in here like adapters and cords and different things like that. But as you can see, you get all that extra comfort and extra productivity, and it's this big. You have your computer anyways, and you're really not adding much to your backpack. It all fits in there. And right now Diane is running to get the last piece of our digital nomad setup. It's a piece that we just added in this past year after traveling for many years, and it's been a game changer for us. And that is this electronics organizer. Depending on what you do for work, you probably have tons of different cables and hard drives and different things, and you can get these in different sizes. This is just the size we use, and instead of having things floating all around your backpack and not being able to find the cord or the adapter that you need, you can fit everything in here. Ours isn't the most organized right now, but you can see we have all our cables here. We have memory sticks, we have GoPro mounts and HDMI cables for watching movies and stuff, hard drives, adapters, lenses, universal adapters, power banks. Everything fits in here instead of floating around your backpack, and it's a compact way and organized way to not go crazy with all the stuff you're traveling with all the time. Alright guys, give us a like if you found this video valuable and want us to continue making videos like this, and I will see you in the next one.